Hello friends, I am Jinesh Shah from YouTube channel GST Updates. Today I am going to brief you out on the changes made in the 25th GST Council meeting. Various changes has been made with respect to rate, registration and returns. So today I will give you all the brief related to the changes made in the 25th GST Council. First of all, I would like to speak about the changes made in the returns. The government has now rationalized the late fees. Earlier, government has reduced the late fee on only GST 3B from Rs 200 per day to Rs 50. But now in the 25th meeting, the GST late fee on GST 1 and other returns has been reduced to Rs 50 per day to maximum Rs 5,000. Even for the nil return, the same has been reduced to Rs 20 per day to maximum of Rs 5,000. So there is a rationalization of late fees on every return files with respect to the GSTs. Second thing, government has assured a simplification of return procedure, a major step and a major assurance from the government which had given a relief to every registered people in the India for GST. Government along with the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and the co-chairman and the chairman of Infosys Nandan Nilekani has supported that there will be easier and simplifications of the return procedure. Earlier it used to have GST 1 for sales detail, GST 2 for purchase and GST 3 for the consolidation of sales, purchase and tax payment. But now government has assured that there will be a new return simpler process which will enable every registered person for ease of doing business. So it's a major step in the simplification and ease of doing business. Now government has decided to implement e-waybill in the 24th GST Council, but in the 25th Council meeting the government has set the deadline for implementation of e-waybill. Now e-waybill will be voluntarily from 16th Jan 2018 for all the interstate movement of goods, and from 1st February 2018 the e-waybill would be compulsory for all interstate movement of goods. So if you are moving goods from one state to another state, you will require e-waybill, a compulsory, a must thing for interstate movement of goods. For interstate movement of goods, government has voluntarily asked the state to implement as per their convenience. Till now 15 states has implemented e-waybill for interstate movements, but from the 1st June 2018 every state has to implement e-waybill deadline for interstate movement of goods. Interstate movement of goods, that is, even if goods are moved within state, you must require e-waybill. So e-waybill will be an additional procedure that needs to be complied for movement of goods. In the GST Council meeting, government has also raised the concern about the composition dealers. Huge dealers are registered as a composition dealer and the payment of tax are very few amount. Government has decided to raise anti-evasion policy wherein they will check that there is no revenue leakage and proper GST is accounted. Now we are coming for the GST registration. When GST came on 1st July 2017, the many people were covered for the compulsory registration and many were forced to take voluntarily registration. Now government has allowed all small taxpayers who had taken voluntary registration to cancel and surrender their registration by 31st March 2018. So any service provider who was earlier was forced to take voluntary registration because he was providing services on e-commerce or some interstate movement for interstate services. Now he will be at ease and he can surrender his GST number so that there may be an ease of doing business among small taxpayers. Further, for the migrated taxpayers who are migrated from the older tax regime to the new GST regime, government has also allowed to cancel the registration by 31st March 2018. So all the registration which are taken either voluntarily or which are migrated into GST and now it has no applicability or it has a small taxpayer, he can opt out and surrender and cancel his registration by 31st March 2018. Now we are coming to the GST rates. Till now I had just given in detail about the changes made in the returns and the registration process, but now I will going to say you about changes made in the rates. For this 25th Council has made a major significant changes in the service sector rates. So we can see that government is proactive and considering all the recommendations from all the trade association, and it's in changing rates of GST wherever and whenever it requires. Now I am going to give you details of the few of the rates made in the changes in the goods and the services. GST rates for the 29 goods and 53 services has been revised. So first of all, an RTI activity has been exempted from the GST list. So any activity with respect to right to information is exempted from the GST list. Legal services provided to the government authority, local authority or government entity is exempted. And second, third changes would be with respect to main contractor and subcontractor. If main contractor is leviable at the rate of 12% of GST, then subcontractor would be leviable at the rate of 12% of GST. So a GST in the case of contractor and subcontractor will be equal. So if main contractor pays 18%, the subcontractor needs to be raised the bill at the 18%. Transportation of goods from a place in India to a place outside India, either by air or a ship, is exempted. But it has a sunset clause. The same thing is exempted up to September 2018. Another changes is made with respect to welfare association. Where any resident society is there, then a member is exempted if the collection of maintenance is rupees 7,000 per member per month. Earlier it used to be rupees 5,000 per member per month. Now it has seen been increased and it gives a substantial relief to the societies. GST rates has been reduced at the rate of 12% on the construction of monorail and metro rail. So it's a positive note for the development of the country. Housekeeping services provided by e-commerce operator has been reduced to 5%. So any e-commerce providing housekeeping services will be taxed at the rate of 5%, but it cannot avail any input tax credit. Further, even the rates for the tailoring services. Earlier, government has reduced a substantial tax on the textile sector, but the tailoring services was at the 18% of GST. But now government has decided to reduce tailoring services and the GST rates will be 5%. So it also rationalized the various textile rates, and majority of the textiles are now covered in 5%. Even rates for the velvet cloth is now reduced to 5%. The textile has been seen a major rationalization of the rates. Admission to the theme park, water park, joyride has been earlier used to tax at the rate of 28% of GST. Now it has been reduced to 18%. Now coming to the goods point, the government has reduced the GST rates from the SUV car, old SUV car, from 28% to 18%, and for the old small cars from 18% to 12% on the margin. And another thing is that if a car or the SUV is used for the purpose of ambulance, then it has reduced the compensation cess of 15%. Now there will be no compensation cess if the goods or SUV car are used for the purpose of medical or ambulance purpose. For construction, it's a good news. For transferable development right, that is TDR, government has decided that GST will be applicable at the time when the seal deed or conveyance deed is executed. So there will be a postponement of GST. It will not be applicable at the time of entering into the TDR agreement. It's a major move for the construction industry. For water bottles of 20 liters, government has reduced rate of GST at the rate of 12%. For cigarette filter rods, the government has increased GST rates from 12% to 18%. Rates for the diamond and the precious stone has been reduced from 3% to 0.25%. For the tour operator, they can also take the credit of 5% if it's in the same line of business. Earlier, tour operator was restricted to take credit on the package tour, but now tour operator can avail the input tax credit 5% if it's in the same line of business. So this was some details we discussed about the changes made in the 25th GST Council. We had discussed about the rates, returns and registration. For more information, like and subscribe our channel GST Updates. I am Jinesh Shah from GST Updates.